Hey everyone, this is Hiroton Almighty 2011. Welcome back to Let's Play Sonic Adventure DX. In the last episode, we hear the beginning of one of the best created characters in the Sonic universe so far, E102 Gamma, and his story of redemption begins against his creator Dr. Eggman. In this episode, after the kind words Amy gave us and hearing what Sonic said about Eggman being evil, we're going to hunt down our brothers and try to rescue them because there's only one way to rescue an Eggman robot, and that's to destroy them. So, something about this. Like I said in a previous episode of Twilight Princess, I'm not sounding depressed on purpose, I'm just trying to fit the mood because this is actually kind of deep. This is one of the best, I'm not exaggerating when I say, like, so far this is the best story in the game. It just sucks that it's at, like, near the end of it. In any case, by the way, yeah, in the English version, whenever Gamma picks up or puts down something, he's like really redundant because it does stuff like pick up, put down, throw. But in any case, Gamma's slowly starting to piece together in the story that what he has to do to save his brothers is to basically destroy them because at this point they've gone rogue, but there is no redeeming them really, just because he realizes they're all made out of the tiny animals that Eggman's captured. And by the way, Windy Valley, the first time I saw this was also in the demo disc. This was the demo for Gamma. It should be noted, with now starting Windy Valley, the second half of Gamma's story is more akin to a Mega Man stage, if you believe that. If you can believe that. Essentially,
Mission failed.
that's hilarious. Okay, sorry about that. I actually forgot he was there. Yeah, don't destroy the Rhino badniks on the bridge, otherwise the bridge gets destroyed. You have to jump over it. Anyway, the second half of Gamma's story, all the stages are kind of like a Mega Man stage because you go through a gauntlet of a stage that's more centered around Gamma's abilities. Because right now we're going into where Sonic's section is, but it's a lot more dangerous with these things around and all that. And wow, invincible? Okay. So at the end of each stage, you fight one of the E-Series robots. At the end of this stage, we fight Beta, who really does look like a Mega Man enemy because he has two arm cannons instead of just having an arm cannon and a hand like we do. In any case, like I said, I really like Gamma's story, and this part, well, this section of the story in general always gets to me just because he is figuring out that, like, you know, the only way to redeem his brothers and himself is to just destroy, well, that killed it, to destroy each other because inside of them are the tiny animals that they need to go rescue. And wow, I didn't mean to run towards them. That was my controller messing up. Unfortunately, though, the seriousness is kind of taken out of this because just like the Beta fight, these battles are incredibly easy. See, he's already down without any effort. I do wish that maybe if this game got remade, they made the fights a bit more dramatic or like a fight coming up later in the game. But yeah, there we go. By the way, it's not set what enemies are inside of the E-Series robots. It's always random with the exception of one we'll see coming up later. And by the way, Gamma actually does say something different depending on when you defeat them. So even though he doesn't have anything to say after he defeats, after he clears the first stage, he does say something different with each stage. Like the first one, like mission complete. Second one, frog capture complete. This one is E103 Beta Delta. Excuse me. Wow, I had a burp. E103 Delta rescue complete. And yeah, at first I was like, wait, rescue? You killed him. But I realized he's talking about the animal inside of him because, you know, the robots have gone rogue and they don't have personality. Sonic X kind of goes into this, except they're all deactivated and basically Gamma's activating their self-destruct switch in order to rescue the animals inside of them. I think the only one that's actually active is Zeta, but don't quote me on that. We'll get to Zeta when we do, because I actually do like what happens to Zeta, even though it is a bit kind of messed up that Eggman did that to him. So, if you remember in Knuckles' playthrough, I mentioned that when Knuckles sees Gamma here, it's somewhat of a continuity error because, well, Gamma doesn't go to Angel Island. Basically, what he does is, well, he goes to Angel Island, but he doesn't go to the Emerald Shrine. So I'm going to quickly go over here and point it out. In Knuckles' story, well, first of all, in Knuckles' story, it was daytime, not dusk. But in Knuckles' story, he sees Gamma leaving Red Mountain, because we're going to Red Mountain because that's where Epsilon is. So, you can see that the Master Emerald is still missing 3 of its shards, which are inside the egg carrier. And Knuckles follows Gamma onto the egg carrier to get these shards. But here's the problem. Gamma never goes here because Gamma was first created in Final Egg and immediately went to the egg carrier. So why would Gamma leave and come back unless he was activated? Goddamn.
Mission failed.
Sorry, Gamma. So why would Gamma go to Angel Island when he was just created unless Eggman was just using him remotely? And it's a weird continuity error, and I really wish that it would be fixed, because to this day, I don't think there's ever an explanation for that. But, in any case, we go to the next stage, Red Mountain, which, if you remember correctly, when I said that when Knuckles goes there, by the way, we just blow the hell out of that monkey, Coconuts. You remember before when Knuckles goes to Red Mountain, it's the top section, and Sonic goes to both? Well, yeah, now we're going to hell. I'm not exaggerating that either. We start off in the hell section, pretty much. Which, by the way, I actually really like this music. Speaking of which, when it comes to this music, quickly talking about Shadow the Hedgehog, because I will eventually LP that game, like I said, because I want to do all the main games in order with the exception of Classic, because I might just do something separate for that. I did the Shadow the Hedgehog movie, which, again, I'm going to put the link in the description, or the video, so you guys can go watch it if you want. Shameless plug is shameless. Which, by the way, they put this here just in case you fall, but you can use Gamma's wheel mode to go over it. I really like the music here just because I remember, mostly, Anton from Hellfire Commentaries talking about how he hates the music in Shadow the Hedgehog with the exception of the Super Sonic transformation. Well, the Super Shadow transformation, just because it's a remix of Live and Learn. I actually really like Shadow's soundtrack with the exception of a few tracks, just because I like heavy metal. Because, again, I play games like BlazBlue, Guilty Gear, and everything. Like, my 3 favorite instruments are the piano, the violin, and the electric guitar. So, of course, I love stuff that has the electric guitar. And wow, wait, this is an invisible wall? Really? They don't want you coming up here? Wow, I never knew that. So, ow, I can't believe I fell for that. So, you know, of course, I love, like, the rock and roll that Sonic has, and I especially love the metal that Shadow has and everything. And yeah, the music in Shadow sounds jarring when you think of it as a Sonic game, but again, I repeat, it's not a Sonic game. It's from the Sonic series, but it's a spin-off that's supposed to be about Shadow, so I feel it fits Shadow. If it was in a regular Sonic game, I'd feel it's out of place and I wouldn't like it. So, in any case, that's a subject for a different day, but we're almost close to Epsilon over here, and, you know, I'm having very big Lava Reef zones. I think aw, really? I ran out of my rings already. Oh, good thing there's 5 over there. Over here is Epsilon, and by the way, I love the name Epsilon. Like, I know it's just, you know, Greek letters, but I really love just the way that sounds, Epsilon. I love how it's said in Japanese, too. Wow, he actually ran away from me, too? Huh, his AI is a little bit different. In any case, I love how it's said in Japanese, too, because, like, Epsilonu. But, in any case, we, go up to his face and blow him up as he's jumping up. But jump, Mega Man! Gamma, I wouldn't, well, goodbye, Gamma. Yeah, so that's the second of our brothers saved. We're, quickly going through them, actually. We might be done, with Gamma's mission very, very quickly. So, if I remember correctly, at this point in Sonic X, this is when Gamma realizes that, every one of the E-Series robots, including the Badniks, all have tiny animals inside of him. But there is one thing that gets brought up that's not until the end of this game, which we'll see when we get to it.
E-103 Delta, E-104 Epsilon. Rescue mission accomplished. E-105 Zeta, E-101 Beta. Location unknown. Perhaps aboard the egg carrier.
So, we have our new destination. We have to go all the way over to the egg carrier. So, speaking of, by the way, fun fact about this. I don't know if it's still here in this version of the game, but in the GameCube version, if you were to go back to Gamma's story, during, this section, with the exception of the egg carrier, every time you go here, including the Chao Garden, it will always be nighttime. That's actually a nice little touch, because I actually like going back to the hub worlds during the different times of the day.
The train headed for station.
However, if you do this in mission mode, that's that's abolished pretty much, because, you know, you need to, for some reason, mission mode resets everything, and we'll talk about mission mode when we do the bonus videos. Anyway, like I said before, technically, because Gamma can just, you know, just hover down, we can get down here safely and ignore the loading zone. And let's just go over to the egg carrier and go rescue the last two of our brothers, because we remember Beta was killed and brought back to life over here. Maybe Zeta's here too.
E-Series data. Beginning search. Accessing data. Hot shelter. E-Series location confirmed. Unlocking hot shelter sector now.
I don't know about you, but I always found that cool too, that because Gamma is an Eggman robot, he still has access to opening up stuff on the egg carrier, even though the egg carrier's been abandoned and all that. Like, I know Gamma has a mission, and I know there's a legitimate reason for him still being here and all that, but it'd be really cool if, like, Gamma would just take some of Eggman's old technology and stuff and use it against him. By the way, Poppin'. But, you know, I know that's not Gamma's personality. Gamma is a hero at this point. He's not Metal Sonic, who would end up doing that in Sonic Heroes. Which, again, I pointed that out. Gamma's the first robot to betray Eggman and go against him, even though not openly. Metal Sonic wasn't the first one. So, because in Amy's story we had to use our hammer, and Big Story we just had to jump on the switch, we can just walk into the hot shelter. And welcome to Gamma's final... Oops! Sorry about that. I actually have to go back. I forgot about something. I'll be right back.
Look! A distraction!
I am so sorry about that. I actually forgot. Yeah, you remember last part when I said there's another upgrade for Gamma here, but the room was flooded? Yeah, we can go get that now, and I kind of walked into the level without that. Silly me. Fun fact, too, if you go back to the room where you got the hover jet, that room is now flooded, too. Yes, they just switched places. Anyway, down here we have...
Here's your laser blaster. Its blast damages enemies in a wide pattern.
Despite what the Shiny Ball of Justice said, I don't see that, because really, I think it just allows you to lock onto more enemies and just increase how many enemies you can lock onto and everything, and it makes an actual, like, kind of bullet shooting sound, but I really don't see the difference, other than just looking cool. But, you know, it's a free upgrade, so just take it. Anyway, now we're going to Gamma's actual last section, the Hot Shelter, which... This one, believe it or not, the first time I played this game, I actually got a game over on it, because the time limit isn't exactly strict, but there's one section that you're going to have a lot of trouble with if you don't know what you're doing. Now, I missed getting this when I was Amy. Let's see if I can get it as Gamma. Yep, I can. Over here, you have an extra life and a crap ton of capsules you can open up. So... because we can fly, we can ignore a bunch of the shit there. And by the way, should mention, even though Big, hilariously enough, is the person that climbs the ladder the fastest, Gamma climbs it up really, really slowly. Now, also, again, with Amy, you could press the switch here, because that was part of the puzzle to turn the gears backwards. With Gamma, not only can you shoot it from afar and effectively break it, but you can just jump over that shit. Anyway, we go over here, and here's where our stage differentiates from Amy. From Amy, I believe we went over to the right. Now, for Gamma, we have to go over to the left. Sorry if my voice sounds weird, by the way. My mic keeps tilting. I thought I fixed that problem. Again, I still have my crappy $30 mic because money's tight right now. Anyway, we go over here, and I still love this song, by the way. Oh god, I can't gush about how much I love Sonic music. Hell, even the classic games, which I don't think are that good, I love the music for that. Mostly Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, just because I love the Genesis's drums. Genesis, Genocide, I don't know. But, like, I love Genesis drums, pretty much. So, like, I love the percussion in, like, the classic Sonic songs. But I just love Sonic music in general, because even the bad games, with the exception of Sonic Chronicles, have really, really good music. Well, Sonic Chronicles is Rise of Lyric too. Anyway, we're almost half done with the stage now. We just have to go over here and press this button, which you can shoot from afar. and get this claw to bring you up here. By the way, if you didn't know you could do that, this is a stage that teaches you. Yeah, pretty late in the game for them to teach you can shoot stuff from pretty late in the game for them to tell you can shoot a switch from afar and still activate it. Because over here, I didn't know I could do this as a kid. So yeah, you shoot the switch afar and the claw brings you up. Or the claw could completely miss you. Shoot the switch, have the claw come down, and bring you up. What? Okay. Shoot the switch, stand over here, and have the claw bring you up. There we go. Okay, I was a bit worried, because normally I wouldn't mind, but I'm timed on this stage. I have places to go, man. And remember again, also when I said that, how does Eggman fit all this stuff on the egg carrier? There's a freaking train on the egg carrier, full of, like, where does all this stuff fit, and where does this even go? What's the point of this stuff? I'm never gonna understand Eggman, and I frankly would love to see how he designs a house, because if he can make stuff look bigger than it actually is, I would love him to design like a house for me to live in, and ow. Okay, so what we have to do is go across trains, but I kind of messed that up, because I think you were supposed to jump earlier, and even though this is going at really break-dick speed, as Critical would say, realistically, you can just jump across no problem. It's just somewhat of a hassle. The camera's going crazy on this too because I missed the actual cutoff point for it. Could you could you point forward, please? Thank you. Game. Okay. So despite seeming as huge as it is, there is a limit to the stage. But it doesn't end until you press the switch coming up here, and I find that really funny. So it's like, again, where is all this shit in the egg carrier? Where is it? So now that we press the switch, ow, coconuts. Can I please end one of these stages with keeping all my rings? Not okay, apparently not. That's the game telling me no. So we go over. Stop hitting me. So we go over here. Jeez, I'm having such bad luck with these stages. I guess it's a better I guess I'm having a better tone than before, where I just sound freaking depressed about everything just because I'm trying to keep the mood. And, oh, I didn't want to get rid of my ring magnet for a regular shield. Whatever. So, we want to hover down here because there's a bunch of crap you can get for Gamma. And we just have all these guys get screwed. You're so screwed, just as Josh Jefferson would say. So, we go up here, and we have our final boss encounter because over here is E105 Zeta. And if you look closely, he has Dreamcast grafted onto him. Nothing new for Eggman, really, because Eggman actually, in Sonic Unleashed, you can see that he has a Dreamcast on him at all times. So, yeah, Zeta was also killed, just like Beta, to turn into the power mechanism that's keeping the egg carrier still afloat. And we just killed him, so realistically the egg carrier should be shutting down now, but it doesn't, so whatever. In any case, now we've rescued Zeta, and we're standing in place even though the platform's still turning. There's only 2 robots left to go. There's only 2 E-Series left, not counting Zero, who's going to eventually be destroyed by Amy. Only us and Beta remains. So, what are we going to do about that? The last time that we saw Beta, he was being dismantled and being brought back as whatever the hell it was. However, we can't enter this door. So, we have no other choice but the monorail. Okay. You know what? I'm curious. Since I summoned the monorail, what happens if I exit like this? We have no other choice but to go back outside and see if we can look for us elsewhere.
E105 Zeta rescue complete. Units remaining. Gamma. Beta.
So, it seems that the transformation on Beta is complete, and Eggman's turned him into a mindless machine that will only work for him. But it looks like he still somewhat remembers us. We have no other choice We have to go defeat our brother. This is E101 Mark II. Probably one of the hardest bosses, and not just Gamma's story, but the entirety of Sonic Adventure DX in general. What he does is he does that rainbow charge, and he will end up trying to charge at you, and pretty much if you get hit by that, well, it sucks. You have to wait for him to ow or get hit by him. You have to wait for him to go past you, and then he leaves himself open so that you can shoot him from behind. If you try to shoot him from anywhere other than his back, which is his only weak point, he will effectively block all of your shots just like that. You can effectively have his missiles blow up in his face like I did before. When he gets to about half of his health, he will go over in the air and try to blast you from afar. And he'll continuously keep doing this and effectively increase his rate of fire as time goes on. He will also get faster with all of his attacks, so you can't dwaddle. And it seems that I missed my chance, so I'm going to have to go through one of his phases again. By the way, the music playing right now is called Crazy Robot, and I love this song so much. Essentially, this song is the second half of Gamma's song, because if you notice on both the OST and how this song opens up, it segues right from Gamma's theme. This theme perfectly summarizes the story of both Gamma and his brother. The machine that Eggman created that ended up surpassing his brother, but also defected, and the machine that ended up wanting to be nothing but loyal to Eggman and pay the ultimate price by becoming a mindless monster. It really shows you the struggle that the two of them go for just being robots who were just made, and really that's something new for the Sonic series too, that like it shows that Eggman's created robots with emotions that can think and feel, and how they all feel about their lives, their existence in general, and if they want to continue living. However, we defeated Beta. We sacrificed our own brother, and we're the only E-Series robot left, not counting Zero. Let's go free the tiny animal inside. And there's only one thing left to do now.
Mission complete.
So it turned out all along, the reason why Gamma was hesitant to help Amy and Flicky was because he was the bird's family. The two birds that appeared in Amy's story were actually Flicky's parents. That was Gamma and Beta. Gamma discovered that inside of him, he held one of the parents of the Flicky's family, and there was no other choice but for him to die alongside Beta. Now, a lot of you may think that Beta shooting him was a cheap shot. Originally, in the original script for Sonic Adventure, Beta would have just been destroyed and Gamma was going to take his own life by shooting his own head off. This was deemed too dark for the game, and that was put in as a replacement, and I think that works a bit better. Gamma, although he had a short-lived life, he's honestly one of my favorite Sonic characters just because of all the stuff he goes through, and it's honestly really powerful for me. And he's one of the well-written characters in this game too, and I miss that. I really wish that, like, with the more recent games, especially with, like, the Deadly Six, they had a chance to be really good villains, and their story was just cut, and they got turned into stereotypes. I'm glad Archie gives a lot of these characters a lot more personality in life, but Gamma's the first sign that, you know, one of the modern characters can be written really well. And I'm so glad that, you know, with more characters like Blaze and Shadow, you have well-written modern characters, but Gamma was the first sign of that. And it's so sad, too, because originally Gamma was going to be brought back for Sonic Heroes, for Team Dark, but his coming back wouldn't have made sense and would have destroyed the entire purpose of his sacrifice. And I feel bringing Omega there instead would have worked better. In any case, that's all I really have to say on Gamma. He just had a really good story, and he was a really good character overall, despite it being so short. So, in the next episode, we tackle the last story of the game, the final story. Now that all the stories have concluded, there's only one thing left to do. See you guys next time.